Welcome to the Luxury Listing Specialist Podcast with Michael LaFido, where top luxury agents reveal their best practices, plus interviews with real estate industry influencers, thought leaders, and luxury marketing experts. You'll come away from each episode with new strategies and tactics to dominate high-end homes in any market. And now for the latest episode of Luxury Listing Specialist. Here's your host, luxury real estate expert, coach, and trainer, Michael LaFido.
Welcome back to another episode of the Luxury Listing Specialist Podcast. I'm your host, Michael LaFido. You are in the right place if you're looking to work smarter, not harder. If you're an agent, a broker owner, a team leader, if you're looking to increase the average sale price of a home that you represent for your given marketplace, you are in the right spot. Just a couple housekeeping items. If you need to get a hold of us, email is michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup. If you have a topic you'd like to suggest, if you have any questions, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com. All right, This topic is very timely. It's not going away. It's not a fad. Talking about video in real estate. Video, you as an agent, how do you help position yourself? How do you attract more clients? How do you differentiate your services? And video, I think, is the lowest hanging fruit. I think there's a huge opportunity for agents. Recently, I was doing a certification training for a Century 21 office in New Jersey, and out of the 30 agents that attended, only one is consistently utilizing video, putting content marketing out there for buyers, for sellers, market updates. 1 out of 30, and only 3 out of 30 are utilizing property videos. So whether they be, on a shoestring budget videos showcasing a property or bring in film crews with drones, etc. And before I introduce today's guest, and you know the topic, it's going to be about video. Before I introduce today's guest, I want to tell you a little bit about how I was introduced to her. So long story short, I did a certification training down in Orlando for a gentleman that runs a magazine called Orlando Real Producers. Aaron does an amazing job. He also is a Cutco representative, but Aaron and I are connected through social media, and I ran across Sue. He was doing a training for agents on how to, incorporate more video into their marketing. And so I saw Sue, I saw what she was doing, and I saw one of the videos she posted, and I'm like, man, she gets it. I know her and I could get along really well because she's doing some amazing things. So Sue and I recently connected in person at the Inman Conference out in San Francisco, and I thought she'd be an amazing guest to our podcast. So here we are. Fast forward, Sue Pinky Benson from Remax Dream. Her website is awesome. It's pinkyknowsnaples.com. So Naples, Florida, pinkyknowsnaples.com. And I'm a big believer that the first rule of thumb of marketing is to stand out and be memorable. And anybody that knows Sue knows that she's memorable with her nickname Pinky. And when I met you had kind of some pink dye a little bit in the hair, and it's definitely memorable. And she's doing some amazing things. So without further ado, welcome, Sue.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Michael. I'm super excited to be here. And the pink dye is still in the hair, so I still have pink hair.
Awesome. So it's kind of. It fits you. You wear a lot of pink in your videos, and it's obviously your color, and it's a memorable little nickname, Pinky. So, talking about video, tell us. You've been a licensed agent for 10 years. You're not on a team. You kind of do, run. You're the team, right? You do a little bit of everything, and you're known in the circles of real estate as being a leader with videos, and so a lot of the folks that are listening probably have those limiting beliefs. They have the fears. Maybe I got to lose weight, or I don't look good on video, or people are going to judge me, and all those reasons they don't start or don't consistently produce videos. Maybe they don't see the results right away. Tell us a little bit about your background, how you got started in video, and we can carry on from there.
Okay. Well, like I said, I've been an agent for 10 years. And before that, in what I call my BC life, which is before children, I was actually in the broadcast journalism field. I actually have a degree in broadcast journalism from Florida Southern College out in Lakeland. So go Mocs. And
Nice.
I wanted to be in broadcast journalism. I wanted to be the news anchor. I wanted to do all those good things. And so I did do that for a good portion of my 20s into my 30s. And so obviously I have a love of the camera. I won't deny it. But, it's not just because of that. I saw an opportunity 7 years ago when I went and heard Katie Lance speak, and she was talking about video 7 years ago and social media marketing, and nobody was listening. Nobody was going, oh, I should be doing this. But a giant pink light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, I could do that. And so, I went home and grabbed the video camera and my husband and said, we're going to go shoot a video. And he's like, what? And that kind of started my journey. And that was when I was in the Tampa area. I was just north of Tampa in a very rural, smaller area. And, price point is average at 150,000 probably at best.
Mm-hmm.
And I started doing these videos. And, people at first, real estate agents, whenever they see something new, they go, what is she doing? They thought I was crazy.
Right.
Yep. And I was doing it on $30,000 crap shacks, as I like to call them, because that's what they were. We were in the recession, and it was crazy. Why would you put that much effort into selling a $30,000 home? Well, it's still paying some bill somewhere. And it gave me, direction. Even though I had a degree in broadcast journalism, I actually had learned to edit on VHS tape. So, I had to learn how to digitally edit. And so, I started when nobody else was doing it, and I didn't have any leaders. And there was this, through Katie Lance, met a fabulous agent named Michael Thorne, who was actually doing it in Canada. And he started coaching me, and I met him at a RE/MAX conference a few years ago. And I took his boot camp and his video boot camp, and that just kind of set me in a direction, because now I was in Naples and I knew what I needed to do to start making business in a new area, because I went from a place of like 400 agents to 4,000 agents and like a hiccup. And, I needed a way to brand myself and set myself apart from these agents that have been here for 20 years. And, it's hard. It's difficult. And so he helped me to hone my craft as far as creating community videos and interviewing businesses and finding out about events and how to do it. And I did it, as we were talking that I did it with a shoestring budget, because I didn't have the big budget to be able to come into a new place and just start all over and be like, okay, give me my drone guy, give me my videographer. I had to learn by using my phone. So that's how I did it.
So using your phone without, the big expensive film crew, et cetera, is how you did it. But what I also heard you say is you did have a mentor, right? And so that's one of the things we always talk about. Tony Robbins talked about success leaves clues. Find somebody that is modeling what it is you want, and figure out what they're doing and use that as a baseline and make it your own, right? And tweak it. And so success leaves clues, as Tony Robbins says. And so figure out that model. I mean, he says success leaves clues. Go figure out what someone else who was successful did and model it, improve it, but learn their steps. They have knowledge. So you figured that out with Michael Thorne. He was a mentor to you, but ultimately you implement it. And so you are implementing, and you brought up a good point. You're doing it on many of these videos. You're doing it on your smartphone, and you're
every
not doing
day
it with the professional background or anything like this, but you're doing it. And I got to imagine you could probably put together a good reel of bloopers as well, right? I mean, let's face it, sometimes when you're doing these videos, technology doesn't work, the sound isn't the best, somebody, photobombs your video or whatever, but you just got to roll with it, right?
Oh yeah, authenticity is the buzzword across social media right now, and it's because people want to see the reality of your life. And think about this. I mean, we love reality shows. I don't care if you watch The Bachelor or you watch Big Brother, whatever it is, we love reality. And we all know at this point that, those shows are produced. They, make things happen on those shows because they want the drama, they want the interest. And we know that they're produced, but we still crave the reality of it. So how is that any different than us doing a Facebook Live and somebody walking through the background or me falling in a pool or whatever, because that's real life and it makes for a good story and it shows that you're not this pretty, cookie cutter, put me on TV kind of video person. That personality is great for, when I'm watching a movie, but when I want to know that this is a real person and that she has real hiccups in her life that, it's just like me, that's what you crave. And that authenticity is what's winning the day right now.
It really is authenticity. I mean, we talk about even when I'm doing training, self-deprecating humor. Like I'll stand out in front of the room and be like, "Hey, look at I got one nostril bigger than the other," and people laugh. I'm like, I'm being honest. But I said, where I'm going with this story is, you can sit there and say, I got to lose weight, I got to do this, I got to do that. Just get out there and be yourself. And one of the things that we teach in our luxury listing specialist certification. And by the way, do I go by Sue or Pinky?
It doesn't matter as long as you call me.
All right. So that's what people, they butcher my last name, LaFido. They call me other things. I go, listen, I've been called a lot worse. But
yeah, exactly.
Where I'm going with it on this is I tell people, get out there, just do it consistently. But there's other certifications out there that say, hey, do this instead of this. Well, I kid around, but I'm like, hey, listen, I got a 19 on my ACT. If I can be, selling these luxury properties, what's holding you back? And just be yourself. Be authentic. Don't be something, don't try to be something you're not. And you see that all the time with people, real estate agents, the way they dress, their pictures. It's like they're trying too hard. Just be yourself. If you stumble, if you're not perfect, people will actually respect you more than if you're all well polished and it looks like a professional commercial.
Right. And I think as we see the millennials behind us and that are coming up, they embrace that. They don't want to be sold to. They want, and maybe the next generation after that will be different because we all change, right? And the generation before us, like even my parents' generation, which they had me when they were 40, so they're significantly older, they don't get the authenticity. They like the polished look because they like what they, when I do a video, who's my biggest critic is my mother. And it's because, oh, I don't like your hair so pink, or why did you wear that dress, or what have you. But that was the same way she was when I was in the news business. And,
right.
Because she wants that polished look because that's her generation. But that's not she's not my ideal customer. My mom is, and I love her, but she's not my ideal customer. My ideal customer is the millennial and the younger demographic because they understand my marketing and they understand what I'm doing. So I don't have to explain to them, hey, hold on a second while I do a quick video. Like I don't have to explain that to them because they get it. And they know that I can do it and I can be done with it and I can move on, it's knowing who you want to attract as your personality. If you want to be fake, then you're going to attract fake people. And if you're fine with that, then by all means, have at it, because I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. So those of you that are listening, those of you that are skeptical, you might say, well, Sue comes from that background. It's a lot easier said than done. Listen, the first video is the most difficult, okay? Now, one word of advice. Recently, we had a certification class. Part of the class, we took all the agents, 30 agents, through an $11 million property. And my challenge to each of them was to do their first Facebook Live video. And all of them did. It was great. They all came back. Some of them were laughing, making fun of themselves. Others say, man, it was easy. And the one gal, she had to be 70 years old, an agent. I give her credit. She's always learning. She invested in herself. So she came back and said, oh, man, by the fifth one, I think I finally got it. Well, she didn't realize that the four previous, she was actually live. Facebook Live means you're live. Afterwards, you could choose, of course, to keep it up there, but we were all laughing. But, she's doing videos now, and video's not going away. It's not a fad. So talk to me a little bit about some examples. You said videos on your phone every day. Give the listeners some examples of topics that they could talk about. Sometimes agents don't do videos because, man, I'm going to run out of ideas.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I can never run out of ideas. And so when people tell me that, I'm like, oh, really? Like, I think once you know how when you buy a certain car, actually Tony Robbins talks about it. When you buy a certain car, whether, like I have a pink Beetle. Okay. So after I bought the Beetle, what do I see on the road is constantly Beetles, right? Because once you've seen yours, then you keep seeing the same thing over and over again, right?
It's called the reticular activator system.
There
it's the
we
part
go.
of your brain that heightens awareness to certain things. Pregnant women notice other pregnant women. You ride a motorcycle, you see that motorcycle.
Exactly.
So reticular activator.
See, a Tony Robbins fan. I knew you would know what it was called because he talks about it, and it's what you see. So it's the same thing when you first start making content. You're like, I don't know what to talk about. Then all of a sudden, you're going to be like, oh, I could talk about this, and I could talk about that. So it's about putting your mind into that setting of, okay, what do I want to talk about? And one of the easiest ways, and if you guys don't follow Katie Lance, she's phenomenal at helping you with this, is questions or content. So every day, we as agents get a gazillion questions, and a lot of them are the same thing over and over again. And if you're constantly answering the same question, and I mean this on everything from like, what are the HOAs for, this community, to where is the best seafood restaurant in town, that is content. That is something that your viewers want to know. So why not flip the camera around and very simply say, hey guys, this is me, Pinky. I'm out in Naples. And, I get asked a lot where my favorite seafood restaurant is. I'm here at such and such place on Fifth Avenue, and I want to give them a shout out because it's my favorite place to get shrimp or what have you. And there you have a video. At the same time, you might have a question about the HOA. So you flip the camera around, different angle, and you say, oh, I'm out here showing properties on Fifth Avenue. Here's the fabulous condo. I get asked a lot about the HOA fees in here. Here they are, blah, blah, blah. Done. Move on. Now you have two videos, two completely different types of content. And you don't post them all at the same time. Hang on to them. They're you can shift them around. Put one on Monday, one on Wednesday. But you can do it. And I speak to the ladies here because men have it easier. I'm sorry, guys, you do. You put on a hat, a polo shirt, you look good. Women, we have a lot to worry about. Makeup, hair, clothing. We worry about the things because people judge us in a different way. And I totally get it and understand it. But here's my tip to you. When you do one video, do 3 videos. Like if you're going to go out and you're going to put your makeup on and you're going to put your dress on, do 3 videos, hang on to them, and then on that day in which you're sitting around in your yoga pants, throw it up there, and you don't have to worry about whether or not you look good. So and then as you get more comfortable in front of the camera, it will become easier to go on. Like I've gone on without my makeup on. I've done it a zillion times. I've done it with my hair crazy. I've gotten more comfortable with that because I go out in public and I want people to know that I'm not always dressed to the hilt. And I'm not pretending to be that person either. So you're going to see me without my makeup, and you're going to see me with me, as I call it, all pinked up. So, you just have to start doing, you have to keep getting it out there, and you'll get better at it. So my first thing is listen and write down your questions. And those are quick videos. Keep it short and simple. You don't have to do a documentary. I guarantee you're not that interesting. So keep it under 2 minutes, and you'll be golden.
Hey there, it's Michael LaFido. Thanks again for listening to our podcast. If you are interested in signing up for our Luxury Listing Specialist certification, or if you want additional information on how you can dominate selling higher-end homes in your marketplace, make sure you go to luxurylistingspecialist.com.
Yeah, I love it. So you're saying under 2 minutes, that's very good. So, we do a lot of educational videos. So first thing, I always like to circle back to something really, I think, enlightening or important that you brought up, which there's been a lot of them, but some ideas, questions, or content. So questions, most common questions that you get as an agent, right? So, or the scenarios or most common objections you overcome. So, for example, we're releasing a video. It will be released by the time this comes out. Maybe we'll include it in the email, talking about what I refer as our ROS system, reverse offer strategy. It's a system that we use when we represent a seller and a buyer comes through and they're either not interested, didn't make their top 3, perhaps you're in a stagnant market. Again, in the luxury market, in most markets, the shift occurs from a seller's market to a buyer's market. And so we talk about the reverse offer strategy, going back to a potential buyer or their agent with an offer. It's unconventional. It's outside the box, Sue, but we've done it. We've been successful. We put 2 deals together in the last few weeks with this, and so we created a video on this strategy. And because we tell others about it a lot, rather than type it out, or we literally will send the client an email, say, hey, listen, I'd like you to take 2 minutes, watch this quick video on something that I think could help get your home sold, and we'll circle back. We'll set up a follow-up call. And so I don't have to explain it again. I don't get interrupted. It's a simple, idea, question, or content in this case. And so I love it. That's a great idea.
Awesome. I love it too. That is like I said, questions are just easy, low-hanging fruit content. And once you start listening and paying attention to what people are saying, then you're going to be like, oh, I could do it on this and I could do it on that. And all of a sudden you're going to have a plethora of information. And the other thing is, what are you good at? What are your hobbies? Like, my husband's a golfer. He could do quick little videos about, hey, I'm out at the golf course today. This particular place is awesome because blah, blah, blah. And then end it. That's good content to give to your community, and it shows who you are and it shows your personality, and you'll like doing it because it's your hobby.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about, be authentic, be yourself. It's a hobby. There's a word I use called affinity. Theodore Roosevelt once says, nobody cares how much you know until they know you care. And so if they know if you're likable and you're human and you share similar interests, your conversion rate's going to skyrocket because you're more relatable and likable. So that's the other thing that is a nice side benefit to creating videos, is people feel like they know you. People are going to Google you. I use the term social media scrub, but people are going to Google you, Sue, before they, interview you to sell their home.
I hope they do. I hope to goodness they do, because
right?
You're selling one of their biggest assets. They should be looking you up. I look up everybody. So, I mean, from the plumber to my buyer, I check them out. I mean, I'm not going to put somebody in my car that I don't know who they are and where they've been. I mean, it's only in my best interest, and it should be in the best interest of our sellers and buyers as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And so that's something that we talk about, and putting content out there, tips for buyers, tips for sellers. So questions, content. Talk to me about, how do you increase views, right? I mean, it's like a great website. If people don't watch it, it's not as effective. So any tips and suggestions on how to get more clicks and more views, whether it be your phone videos that you're doing on Facebook Live or Instagram, and talk to me about some platforms and how do you get more views?
Okay, so let's break it down. Obviously,
in simple terms, I guess, because we have
simple
people from all backgrounds here.
Yep. And let's address that for a minute. Being simple, we want to talk about, how much money do you spend on this stuff? I want to be completely clear to you. Use your phone. Start there. Okay, do not go out and buy all the bells and whistles that cost this and cost that, and you can get some cheaper items. I have a very inexpensive microphone and an inexpensive tripod. Cost me less than $300 to have all of this equipment, but I don't own a DJ Osmos yet. I don't have all the bells and whistles that a lot of people have, and I've done well, I think, for making myself known with my videos. So you don't have to invest heavily until you know what you need. And the only way you'll know what you need is by starting to do it. So I always say in my presentations, don't go buying the entire, gym membership for the entire year because you went to the gym one day. Okay? Do it month by month and make a decision based on that. And that's really what it comes down to. Because like I said, at this point, as much as I live in Naples and we got a lot of multimillionaires around here, I am unfortunately not one of them. And I have a husband who keeps me in line. So I have to work with what I've got. And, right now it's my phone. I have a great mic and I have a tripod to stabilize. I've gotten very good at holding the camera myself, so it's steady, but that takes a long time to get used to, because especially when you're nervous, you are going to, jitter a little bit, and that's just normal. You're not going to, so get yourself a tripod or a selfie stick, something to help you keep it steady. That is the most important thing. When you start doing videos, if we talk Facebook Live, consistency is real. No matter what you're doing on social media, consistency is always what wins, right? So when I say consistency, you want to start out, getting regular with it. And if you're not ready to make it public, keep it. You can do a Facebook only to yourself. You can do it only to your mom. You can do it only to your siblings, whatever you want to do to get yourself comfortable with how the platform works, what buttons do what. So start there and just start practicing if that's what you need to do. And if it's really good and it comes out great, then you just change it from being a private message on Facebook to being a public message on Facebook. And boom, now you have a video up, right? So you can do it that way. When you're going to do
so explain that again. It's the private and public, just for the folks. Let's just say you create a video. You're in front of your favorite steakhouse in town. And by the way, the best way to get referrals is give referrals. Okay, so if you're elevating a place of business that you go to, and you're giving them a platform and introducing them to your database, your sphere, that owner, if he hears about it, they're going to feel almost
they're going to share it.
They're going to share it, and that's called reciprocity. So indirectly, that's like a third-party endorsement. They shared it. Man, Sue's with RE/MAX. So hey, it's Sue with RE/MAX, and this is an amazing place. So indirectly, they're going to think that you're his realtor.
Right, and that can be a challenge, and that's why when I do my videos, I do not go into, unless it's like a listing video or something to that effect, I don't go hard into like every time like, oh, buy and sell your house with me, buy and sell your house with me.
No.
Because I'm doing it for my community. So because Florida has some old rules, I have to disclose that I'm a real estate agent regardless of what I'm talking about, which I have an issue with, but that's okay. So in every video I say, powered by the fabulous RE/MAX Dream. But that has established me as a real estate agent. And so but don't go in there constantly like, oh, and by the way, you have to buy a house, because then people are going to be turned off. So if you're honestly going on there and you're like, hey, I'm at Charlie's Steakhouse. This place is amazing. I just had the blah, 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 and it was fabulous. That's also how you're going to get more views too, is one, you're not selling them, but you're giving them something of value. They know, like, and trust you. So if they know, like, and trust you that you like the steak, then odds are they're going to like the steak. Right? The steakhouse is going to like you because you have engaged with them, like you said, and they're likely to share it because they're going to say, okay, this person's great. Now, let's be clear about that too. And this is just a side note, what I see with social media. If you're doing these things, and I do a lot from my personal page, you will notice that I don't put up my political beliefs or my religious beliefs or anything like that out there on social media. And everybody knows pretty much at this point not to do it, but people still do it because they want to be who they are. You have to understand that a business may not share because they're going to go in and they're going to look you up, just like we talked about Googling. They're going to look you up. And if they see that you have a lot of negative posts or, innuendo posts or political posts, that, they might not want to endorse you. Does that make sense?
Oh, it totally makes sense. I talk about this at our seminars all the time. Somebody once asked Michael Jordan why he doesn't talk politics. You know what his answer was?
No.
Because Republicans buy sneakers too. He was a Democrat, but he didn't want to lose half of the people buying his shoes. And so, that's one thing I always talk about. The other thing I talk about is you're absolutely right. You don't know who your potential buyer is. And our political environment, unfortunately, so much is negative right now, and there's toxicity out there. Don't contribute to it. Just stay neutral in your social media channels, and if you want to have a drink with a buddy and be more honest, that's one thing. But yeah, if you post it out there,
it's even like I said, it's not even just the political or the religion. It's also people that go on and they have something negative to say, like, oh, I was out with my buyers today, and you wouldn't believe what happened to me, because they want to share something about their day. Unfortunately. People are going to view that as a negative statement. You don't really like your job, whatever. And so when you start interviewing businesses and what have you, you have to be very aware of what you have on your social media platform. You have to think of yourself as your own public relations person. And you have to say, well, if I post this, is this a good representation of who I am if somebody comes and looks me up later? And if you're comfortable with that, then by all means. But don't be upset if you go out and the business is like, hey, I saw some of your posts on Facebook, and I'd appreciate if you didn't talk about it. It's never happened to me, but it could happen,
Right.
So
right.
be very conscious about what you're doing. Don't just put out there, had the worst day ever, buyers are liars or what have you, because we've all seen those posts, right?
Yeah.
So, keep it positive, people.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So great advice. Keep it positive. Be authentic, but be authentic by being positive and don't go into the politics and religion topics. That's a slippery slope there. So really good. Tips on getting so the public versus private. So let's just say you do something at the steakhouse and you keep it, and you're not sure how it's going to turn out. You select it as private.
You adjust your audience on your Facebook post. We're talking about Facebook here. You adjust your audience, and you can have all kinds of different audiences. If you guys don't know how to do that, please Google that, because it's the most amazing thing. But you can adjust it so that only your friends see it. Only your family sees
friends,
it.
not acquaintances. Whatever.
Right. And you can adjust it, or you can adjust it to only me status. So only you sees it. And so that way you can say, okay, this is only me. I'm the only one that can see it on social media. If I decide that it's good and I want to put it out there, then I just take it from there and adjust it to public, and boom, now you have a video out on Facebook, and if you want more views, you got to make it public so that it's shareable. I see a lot of agents, I call them secret agents. They everything's private on their page, and then they wonder why nobody's embracing them. And it's because I have no way to share your content. There's no way for me to, I just see your profile picture and that's it. I don't know who you are or what you are.
So really important. So understand the privacy settings. So let me hear you, just to clarify. If they do a video today, they make it private or just me, but 3 days later they make it public or friends and acquaintances, it will adjust at that point. It's not. Yeah,
you can adjust it later.
Later.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, you can adjust it later. Now, I would suggest if you were going to do that to go in and maybe change the wording of your post and maybe tag somebody in it, not spam tag, but tag somebody of significance like the steakhouse at that point. And then that way it'll get out there further. You know what I mean? So you do have to play with it a little bit, but it's a great way to start.
Yep. Great. No, that's awesome. Good. Views. Let's talk a little bit more about how you can get more views, whether they be views on your Facebook, whether they be views on your website, whether they be property views. So right now we're really focusing on videos on your phone for this topic, for this episode. Yeah. We could spend an hour doing property videos, but easy videos that are, question-based or content-based. So talk to me about how they get more views. Tagging people that might be associated, not spamming.
Might be associated, not spamming. Don't spam. Please don't spam. No. No, what I would say is, when you go out to a property, and real estate agents, I see it across the board, everybody's running out and doing open house videos. I get it. I've done it. I've been there, and they work. I'm not knocking them. But you can be better. You have to think people are scrolling through their Facebook, scrolling. So how do you grab their attention? Because you literally have 3 seconds to grab their attention. Real estate agents love to start in front of the house. Start there. No. Start from the most interesting and exciting part of that house so that that's your background. They see your face and they see this amazing background, okay? So if the house has a fabulous view of a river, start there. Don't worry about pulling them in and then I'm going to climax. Okay. No. Start at the climax, people. Go in hard. Okay. Get them in, get their eyeballs in, then show them the bathroom. Okay. That you've got to pull them in. You only have a few seconds. So you've got to do that. So the other important thing to get people to pull in on the views initially is you want to have something that I call thumb stopping so that they stop. So now they see the view, they see you. Now let's not just talk, about real estate. What could you say? Oh my gosh, guys, this $1 million foreclosure, it's the most expensive foreclosure in Naples. Check this out. Okay. That would probably make somebody stop. If you said, I did one and it had a Garden of Eden in the backyard, and that's how I framed it. You're not going to believe this Garden of Eden. What's your favorite flower? I bet it's here. Check this out live. Engage. Don't go live and don't tell and not tell your viewers what the heck they're looking at. You have got to describe it. And then after I've done my live, I will leave it up, that afternoon. And then I will go back later and I will change the description because maybe something happened in that video that I really want to tell in the post so that my replayers know why they're going in. Okay. So you do it once to grab the live viewers, then you change it later for the replay viewers. So like, for example, the other day I was at my newest listing, but I was talking about the reasons why not only agents should know this, but also potential sellers at some point, why we should be using professional photographers. So I threw some stats out while I was live, but my tease to get people in was, hey, I'm talking amazing photos and an amazing ice maker. Now, you'd be like, what in the world? What is she talking? And tune in to see what crazy talk I got going on today. So I teased them to pull them in. So then I started talking about why agents, because my professional photographer was there taking photos. Only 35%, according to the latest stats, of agents use professional photographers. Guys, you got to step up your game because when you use a professional photographer, you make twice as much money. So it's in our best interest, and the seller gets more money too, somewhere between $3,000 and $11,000 a year. So on the house, right? On the sale.
What percent did you say? Use
35%. 35% of real estate agents.
Only 35%. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was a stat that I found online. I think that one was from Wall Street Journal, maybe. But yeah, only 35% use. And here's the glory of video. You want to talk about video for a second here, or that's what we are talking about. But when you do a video on a property, and we're not talking virtual tours, but an actual video,
right.
You have a 400% increase in the amount of showings. 400% increase on the amount of showings. And you can do it on your phone for free. So don't tell me you don't have the money. You can do it. You just have to get good at it. And it's just like learning the MLS system. You just have to go in and you have to start playing with it to figure out what's going to work for you.
Yeah.
So what I did after that is I went back into and reworded my post and put out those facts so that people would tune in. And then the amazing ice maker was this amazing ice maker that was in this condo. But, you have to tease it. You have to think like a news business. What would make you, think about how they tease you to come back after the commercial, right? You have to think that way for the person that's standing in the grocery line who's like, oh, I can't watch this now, but I definitely want to see it later, right? So you want to tease them to make sure that you grab their attention. And the view is so important. I typically, my viewers know at this point, like whether I'm standing in front of the Golden Gate Bridge or I'm standing in the, by a jacuzzi with a mermaid, they tune in, and yeah, it's eye catching, because that's what we are drawn to. Yeah. That's not new. Yeah. Think about the cavemen. They drew pictures on the wall. We want to see pretty things.
Absolutely. And again, just a reminder here, the whole purpose for this podcast is to give you tools and resources and top industry experts for certain topics. Obviously, Sue is a rock star with video, particular video on her phone for content marketing, questions, property videos. She hasn't even talked about that, but she's done amazing walkthrough property videos. Again, we're talking about how can you increase your average sale price? How can you either break into or dominate selling luxury homes for your given marketplace? And there's a lot of dinosaurs in our industry. That's why disruptors are coming in and all these tech-based platforms or help you sell type companies. I believe, especially in the luxury space, and again, just a reminder, if this is your first episode, we define luxury home prices for any given market as prices of homes that are 3 times whatever the average sale price is for that market. So if the average sale price for your market is $200,000, well, a luxury home would be defined 3 times that, $600,000 and above. So in that luxury space, in most markets, the days on the market are higher. The list-to-sale ratio is lower, and it's what we consider a buyer's market. Every market, the shift occurs from a seller's market to a buyer's market, and that price point of what price of a home that occurs differs in every market. And I guarantee you there's even more agents that are dinosauric in their thinking in a lot of these luxury spaces. They get the luxury listing, they get the appointment because they play tennis or they're at the golf club, but they're not outside the box. They're not aggressive. They don't think like a marketer, and they think like agents. And so this is what we want you to do. We want you to attract more opportunities. And how do you attract more opportunities? Is you surround yourself with others. You invest in a mentor. You invest in a coach. Find out more information about our certification. Private message me, Michael@marketingluxurygroup.com. But if you want to attract, if you want to increase your average sale price, if you want to think smarter and work smarter, not harder, then these are ways that you can leverage video. It's not going away. It's not a fad. We could talk about this for hours. So, Sue, tell me a little bit about if somebody wants to find out more about you, and then you shared with me that you started a Facebook group as well. How, if they have a referral down in the Naples area and they want to send you a referral, I'm sure you cheerfully cheerfully send out 25% referral agreements if somebody called you. How do
I
they
was
find
showing
out about
properties
you?
to $1 million customer today, and it's a referral from a Miami agent. So yes, sir, I'm all about the referrals.
Awesome. And hey, and you got a copy of our book, Luxury Listing Specialist. You got to let me know if you get some tips from it as well. It's on Amazon. On Amazon, $29.95, Luxury Listing Specialist. But Sue, if somebody wants to find out more about you, or as an agent with RE/MAX, or RE/MAX Dream, or just about your Facebook private group, can you tell me a little bit the best way to do that?
Sure. Just go on Facebook, Sue Pinky, Pinky, Benson, Benson. You'll be able to find me pretty easily. My page is completely open. I don't hide anything. If you send me a friend request, just send me a message saying, hey, I heard you on the podcast. So that way I know where you're coming from. I like to know that. I have a page, Pinky Knows Naples, and then my group is video and social media for small businesses, so I can hook you up with that. I'm also on Instagram under Pinky Knows Naples, and you can DM me on any of those platforms. I'm usually pretty timely in getting back to you, or it's Pinky, Pinky, at pinkyknowsnaples.com.
And we'll include all this information on the website, luxurylistingpodcast.com, Luxury Listing Podcast, or on iTunes or Stitcher. We'll make sure you're tagged in this and all your contact information. Just a simple question here. Instagram or Facebook, where are you getting more, like a two-part question, where are you getting more views and engagement from at this point? Here we are, August of 2018.
Okay, so Facebook Live is definitely where I have a lot of engagement and a lot of views. Instagram is such an amazing and growing platform nationally. Naples is kind of an old school bubble, so they're just kind of catching on to Facebook right now, because Facebook's demographics, the biggest group growing is 55 and up, and guess who the demographics in Naples is typically 55 and up. So they're just figuring out Facebook. But that's important to know because you need to know your market. If your market is heavy into Facebook, then be on Facebook, But like I said, because I present and I'm in front of a lot of real estate agents, Instagram has helped me grow nationally. And what's great about Instagram, when you have a presence there with Instagram stories and all of the gold mines that are in there, they're 3% better the engagement. So the people that reach out to you are 3% more invested with you versus the 0.1 that might be over on Facebook. So, the leads that you get from Instagram are much more quality leads even than the ones you're going to get on Facebook. And I'm talking organic. I'm not talking paid, but organically, they're just much more, it's more personalized in some ways. And I think it's because it's a much more positive platform. It's very hard to be negative on Instagram, in my opinion.
Oh, that's good to know. So fast forward in 6 months, or let's call it a year, August of 2019, do you see Instagram more momentum, more steam? That's going to, be the platform for our industry, right? We're in a show and tell industry. Do you feel like, real estate agents, there's a bigger opportunity there? Is Facebook's losing, some engagement due to whatever you want to call it recently?
I don't think Facebook will lose anything. I think Facebook will adjust, and we will adjust accordingly as marketers. But again, it's your market, who's where and what's going on. I do Snapchat as well, so I've done that before Instagram stories came along. but there is gold. There is gold in those hills of Instagram. I'm telling you, like the locator button that you can put into the Instagram stories, and it gets you out in front of a completely new audience. You can be part of your city's story. There is just, and it's free. It's free. It's like, if you're using it and you're using it consistently, you are going to reap the benefits. And now is the time to get in there and get going. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. And, you'll be surprised at how quickly you'll come up with content. And if you need content help or Instagram help, you know who to ask? The closest 12 to 15-year-old. Okay, they will blow your mind on what you should be talking about, and you'll be like, "Oh, really? People care?" They'll be like, "Oh yeah, people care," and it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Well, listen, a wealth of knowledge. I really appreciate it. Again, for more information, anybody that wants more information on our certification, go to luxurylistingspecialist.com. Luxury Listing Specialist. I do have a free gift for everybody. Again, get your smartphones out or get your pen out. You're going to want to text the word Lux. LUXE to 72000, and we'll send you a free blueprint, a luxury listing blueprint, a video checklist, 56-point video checklist, and a free 3-part video series. Text LUX, LUXE to 72000. If you don't know how to do that, literally take out your phones, dial 7200, hit dial, and then you're not going to be able to talk to anyone. Hang up, and then text to that same number, Lux, LUXE. My name is Michael LaFido. Again, future podcast, if you have suggestions, send us an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, or if you'd rather call us, 888-930-8510, 888-930-8510. And for past podcasts, we have some good ones on there. Go to iTunes or Stitcher, go to Luxury Listing Specialist, or on our website, luxurylistingpodcast.com. My name is Michael LaFido. Continue to prove them wrong, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.